ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees who assembled for this morning's Bhagavatam class. Currently, I was told that the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is going on in this morning Bhagavatam series, and you have been discussing the episode of Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj's story is extremely inspiring, and he's an example of great determination and devotional service. At the age of 5, Dhruva Maharaj has been very, very ambitious to attain a position superior to even Brahma. With that intention, he left the palace, went to the forest, but he was very fortunate enough to come in contact with a spiritual master, Narada Muni himself. And Narada Muni very expertly guided Dhruva Maharaj. He taught him this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Although initially Dhruva Maharaj denied Narada Muni's instructions. What was Narada Muni's instruction initially? He was saying that Dhruva, you're a small child. You don't have to take honor or dishonor or insult or praise so seriously. Why are you so affected by the words of your stepmother, Suruchi? It's okay. You're a small child, you're supposed to be attached to games, sports. Go back. And you're attempting to worship the Lord? You're attempting to please Lord Vishnu? It's not so easy. It's not that easy. Even great sages also failed in pleasing the Lord. How can you please the Lord at such a tender age? You better go back. Once you're grown up, you can come and do some austerities. But Dhruva Maharaj said, No, I cannot accept this kind of instructions from you, O Narada Muni, because my heart is burning with the insulting words of my stepmother. You please tell me an honest means by which I attain my goal of getting a position superior to my great grandfather Brahma. So, seeing the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, Narada Muni became very impressed. Narada Muni did not get offended. Narada Muni did not feel that, oh, I am such a world acharya. universal Acharya. I have enlightened so many people in this planet. In fact, I am a Shakti avatar. Narada Muni is also an avatar of the Lord. He was he was demonstrating this Bhakti Shakti. And this 5-year-old child is saying no to what I said. He is not following my instruction. Narada Muni had all reason to get offended. But Narada Muni was not offended. He was compassionate. Although Dhruva Maharaj's intentions were not very pure, he wanted to take revenge on his stepmother. He was envious of his stepbrother. He was ambitious to attain a position greater than Brahma's position. Although all these are material desires, material motives, still Narada Muni was only compassionate, extremely compassionate on Dhruva Maharaj. Narada Muni did not feel offended that Dhruva Maharaj has rejected his instructions, but Narada Muni got impressed. Oh, this boy has so much determination. How can I dovetail that determination in devotional service? That was the thought process of Narada Muni. This is how a preacher of Krishna consciousness should think. And when we are preaching or when we are trying to inspire someone in bhakti, they may not immediately accept our advice, our well intended suggestions to take up the path of bhakti. Nevertheless, a preacher should have patience and compassion and a well wishing nature. A preacher should feel that, oh, whatever flaws or shortcomings they may have, still they are ultimately ambitious of Krishna, and my duty is to somehow or the other connect them to Krishna consciousness. Narada Muni, as a compassionate preacher, he did not have a sense of false ego. He did not think that how can this Dhruva, 5-year-old child, deny my instructions? I told him to go back home. He says, no, I will stay here only. I told him to give up his revengeful attitude or envy, but he says, no, I want to attain a position superior to Brahma. Who is Brahma? Narada Muni's father. And Dhruva says, I want to become greater than your father. You tell me how to do so. It's little too much, isn't it? Dhruva Maharaj says that, Narada Muni, your father is so great, right? Brahma, I want to become greater than Brahma. I want to get a position superior to Brahma. Tell me how to do so. Narada Muni was impressed with his determination. There must be some good quality in this candidate. Let me utilize that good quality. Let me engage that good quality in Krishna service. And this is how Narada Muni inspired Dhruva Maharaj to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya in Vrindavan. In Dhruva Maharaj's story, so many Vaishnavas helped him like this. First, even before Dhruva Maharaj met his spiritual master Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj was guided by his own mother, Suniti Mata. When Dhruva was insulted by Mother Suruchi, and he was so pained at heart, he sing like a snake. This Dhruva left Suruchi's place and he went to his mother Suniti. And Suniti welcomed her child. Please, my dear child, come. And she started giving some good instructions to the child. She said, my dear child, it's not worth holding any grudge or hatred or envy towards even those people who must have harmed you, who must have insulted you. Although Suruchi has insulted you, you should not desire any harm for her. You should not hold any bitterness or negativity or ill feelings towards her. That's the first advice given by this glorious Vaishnavi mother, Suniti, to her son Dhruva, 5-year-old boy, very agitated because of the insult of his stepmother. But Suniti Mata said, don't desire harm for Suruchi. First advice. Second advice, please understand that it is only because of our karma that we suffer. Our suffering may come through other people, through agents like Suruchi or someone else or someone else. But we are ultimately suffering because of our own past misdeeds. Accept all suffering as a result of your past bad karma. That is second advice. Then third, you wanted to sit on your father's lap? You wanted to sit on your father's throne? Or do you have any other desire? Whatever desire you may have, worship the Lord. Worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Vasudeva. Your grandfather, Swayambhu Manu, and his father, Brahma, all of them became successful by worshipping the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. You also worship. त्वमेव वत्साश्रय भृत्य वत्सलं मुमुक्षुभिर्मृग्य पदाब्ज पद्धतिम् अनन्य भावे निज धर्म भाविते मनस्यवस्थाप्य भजस्व पूरुषम् त्वमेव वत्सा आश्रय भृत्य वत्सलम ओ वत्सा ओ my dear child, please take shelter of that Lord who is very affectionate towards his devotees. He is called Bhritya Vatsala, means he is someone who is very affectionate towards all his devotees. Tvameva vatsashraya bhritya vatsalam mumukshubhirmrugya padamcha paddhatim. So many people who have been aspiring for liberation have adopted this paddhati, this process of taking shelter of that Supreme Lord who is very affectionate towards his devotees. Ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite. Ananya bhave, without any distractions in the mind. Nija dharma bhavite, while practicing your regular occupational prescribed duties, worship that Lord. Manasya avasthapya bhajasva purusham. Manasi avasthapya means establish that Lord within your heart. Bhajasva purusham, perform bhajan, worship him, serve him. This is the advice given by this glorious mother. Have you seen how this one little child, 5-year-old boy, has been guided by his mother towards the lotus feet of the Lord? First teacher or first guide of Dhruva, this child is Mother Suniti. Then second guide or second teacher of Dhruva in Dhruva's life is Narada Muni. So Suniti, a pure Vaishnavi, and Narada Muni, a pure Vaishnava, both of them played very important role in the life of Dhruva Maharaj in inspiring him to take shelter of Krishna. So with the inspiration, Dhruva Maharaj went to the holy land of Vrindavan. He chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for 6 months. And he got the darshan of the Lord. And to shorten the long story, Dhruva Maharaj has been blessed by Lord Vishnu to rule this earth, to rule his father's kingdom for 36,000 years. And he also told that you were angry with your stepmother, you were envious of your stepbrother, your stepbrother will die in the hands of a yaksha, and your stepmother will die because of forest fire. And you wanted to sit on your father's throne? Yes, you can sit on your father's throne for 36,000 years and rule this kingdom. You wanted to attain a position superior to your great grandfather Brahma? Yes, definitely you will come to my abode. After 36,000 years, you will come to my abode. That will be called as Dhruvaloka, the best of all the planets in this universe, in the middle of Saptarshi Mandala. So the Lord fulfilled all his desires. Then Dhruva felt very regretful. Why did I hold these negative desires in my heart? That is an important lesson from Dhruva's pastime. Very, very important lesson in Dhruva's pastime. That although we begin the practice of bhakti with some material motives, still, sincere practice of bhakti will purify all our ill motives. Although Dhruva began his practice of bhakti with negative desires, after just 6 months of practice of bhakti, all his negative desires are gone. Material ambitions are gone. He was feeling guilty. He was feeling so sad that why did I even hold such negative mentality? He was thinking like that. Why did I envy my stepbrother? Why I wanted to take revenge on my stepmother? He was thinking like that. Why? Bhakti purified his heart. Bhakti destroyed his envy. Bhakti destroyed whatever is unfavorable in his heart. So bhakti is best practiced under the guidance of devotees, in the association of devotees. Secondly, bhakti is also bhakti also must be performed with sincerity, with determination. Sometimes the guru may be very potent, but if the disciple is not sincere, guru's instructions will not have an uplifting impact on the disciple. Right? Disciple has to be sincere. Guru has to be bona fide and authorized, and disciple also has to be sincere. For example, Narada Muni was instructing Kayadu. One-to-one discussion also. So fortunate Kayadu was. You know Kayadu, Prahalad Maharaj's mother, when she was being kidnapped by all the devatas, Narada Muni came and rescued her. He said, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you troubling this innocent lady who is the wife of another man and she's pregnant also?" And all the devatas said that we don't intend to harm this lady, but we wanted to destroy her child. Why? Because he is the child of a demon like Hiranyakashipu. Because Hiranyakashipu is a great demon, his son also will become a great demon. Therefore, we want to vanquish him as soon as he's born. The Narada Muni said, "What kind of logic is this? Just because the father is demon, will the child also be demon? Not necessary. I am telling you that this child in the womb of this lady, he will become a great Mahabhagavat devotee, better devotee than all of you." Then, as soon as these devatas heard the statement from Narada Muni, they bowed down to Narada Muni. They bowed down to Kayadu. They offered her obeisances. They circumambulated her with great respect, and they offered obeisances to the pure Vaishnava in her womb, and they left. Then Narada Muni took Kayadu to his ashram and started speaking some spiritual subject matters, speaking some Harikatha in front of Kayadu. But Kayadu could not listen. Why? She was anxious about her husband. When will my husband come back? What will happen to my son? Because in the mind there is so much of anxiety. She could not receive that instruction. She could not assimilate the teachings of Narada Muni. She missed the chance. But the child within her womb, Prahalad Maharaj, he sincerely and attentively received the instructions of Narada Muni and he became a pure devotee. So Guru may be glorious, but if the disciple is not sincere in hearing, the disciple cannot be uplifted. Right? Here, same teaching, same class given by Narada Muni had a great purifying impact on the consciousness of Prahalad Maharaj, but not on Kayadu. The difference is in the quality of reception. Similarly, coming back to the example of Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva was very sincere. He may have some ill motives, he may have some kind of material ambitions, he may be angry, he may be envious. He was envious, he was angry, he was revengeful, he wanted to take revenge. But still, although he had all these kinds of undesirable desires in his heart, still there is some sincerity and determination in him. He took the advice of his mother Suniti very seriously. And he also took the advice or instructions or guidance of Narada Muni very seriously. And within 6 months, he got the darshan of the Lord and his heart is completely transformed. However fallen we may be, however envious we may be, however lusty we may be, whatever may be the background of a conditioned soul, if they take the instructions of the spiritual master seriously, they will definitely advance in spiritual life. Mrugari the hunter, how cruel he was. He was half killing animals, not completely. As a hunter, he would just shoot an arrow. That arrow would pierce the animal, but the arrow will not kill the animal. Arrow will only cause some pain to the animal and make the animal completely immobile. And the animals, whether it's a rabbit or a hog or a deer or whatever, they are just flapping their legs and experiencing so much of pain. And Mrugari is taking pleasure in their pain. Can you just imagine how cruel a hunter he is? But that Mrugari became completely transformed in the association of Narada Muni. Narada Muni told him, break your bow, chant Hare Krishna, give up all the wealth that you have accumulated by sinful activities. And Mrugari sincerely followed the instructions of Narada Muni. He became a pure Vaishnava. Right? And similarly, that lady who came to distract uh, Dharidas Thakur, she became transformed into a pure Vaishnavi in 3 days only. So, however fallen one may be, however sinful one may be, however materially ambitious one may be, if one sincerely follows the instructions of a pure Vaishnava Guru, their consciousness will be uplifted. That is Dhruva Maharaj's case. He may be just a 5-year-old boy. He was a 5-year-old boy. He had material ambitions. He had grudge, revengeful attitude, envy, negativity in his heart. He was materially ambitious. But still, he became a pure Vaishnava. Within 6 months, he got the darshan of the Lord. That is the potency of the process of bhakti when it is sincerely practiced by the devotee. When there is sincere practice, there is transformation. When there is sincere acceptance of Guru's instructions and sincere application of Guru's instructions, that will create great transformation. But when there is no sincerity in following the instructions of a Guru, even if the Guru is a pure devotee, elevated Vaishnava, the disciple may not be able to take advantage, take benefit of Guru's association. That's what we saw in Kayadu's example. At every stage of our lives, we need guidance. We need the guidance of a spiritual master or some pure Vaishnava. The spiritual master may not always be physically accessible to a disciple, but we should access the guidance of spiritual master through his Vani that is there. But there are other devotees also who are more mature in applying all the scriptural instructions, and they remind us and they inspire us to take shelter of Guru's instructions. Even such sadhus also are very helpful in our advancement in bhakti. That's why Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, all three are important. Here, if you see Dhruva Maharaj's example, initially he was guided by his mother, Suniti. Later, he was guided by his Guru, Narada Muni. And after he ruled the father's kingdom for 36,000 years, I'm sorry, even while he was ruling, one more incident happened. Suddenly, one Yaksha came and killed Dhruva Maharaj's younger brother, Uttam. Then Dhruva Maharaj became very emotional. He became swayed by so many emotions and he immediately took up his bow and arrows and got on his chariot and he went to Alakapuri region, declared a war against the Yakshas, and he was killing Yakshas left, right, center. Long fight, very fierce fight. One Dhruva, single-handedly he was fighting with 130,000 Yakshas. 130,000 Yakshas were there to fight with Dhruva, and Dhruva was killing all of them. At one point, they created some black arts, some magical illusions, and Dhruva was a bit bewildered. He could not know what to do. Initially, when they were fighting in a straightforward manner, Dhruva could win the war. But they ran away from the battlefield, unable to fight with him. Then Dhruva thought, okay, let me relax. But after some time, they again came back. with greater force. Dhruva was expecting. Although these yakshas ran away from the battlefield, maybe they will come again to attack. They again came and attacked with greater force, and Dhruva was completely bewildered. Then who came to rescue him? The sages. So many sages and sadhus came and told Dhruva Maharaj, please chant Narayana mantra. Please fix this Narayanastra and release that Narayanastra on all these yakshas. You will be able to defeat them. And Dhruva did that. Very beautiful. You see. Similarly, when we take shelter of the holy name of Lord Narayana, then we will also be able to defeat all the illusions created by Maya. He martyaha paramam hitam srunutavo vakshyami sankshepatāh samsārārṇavamāpadurmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitah नानाज्ञानवपास्य चेतसि नमो नारायणायत्यमुम् मन्त्रं सप्रणवं प्रणामसहितं प्रावर्तयेद्धं मुहुः. Kulashekara Alvar in the Mukundamala Stotra says, He Martyaha Paramam Hitam Srunutavo, O Martya, O human being destined to die, O immortal being, sorry, mortal being, Paramam Hitam Srunutavo, just hear my good advice. Vakshyami Sankshepata. I know you don't have much time or patience. I will speak concisely, don't worry. And what is that concise instruction given by Kulashekara Alvar? He says, Samsārārṇava māpa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitah. You have entered deep into this ocean of material existence that's filled with waves, fierce waves of material miseries. Nānāgnānavapāsya cetasi namo nārāyanāyetyamum. How do you come out of this ocean of material existence? Just keep aside all your concocted ways of coming out of this ocean of material existence. Just accept this one advice. What is that advice? Chant the names of Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Just chant this and you can get out of this material existence. That's what he said. Similarly, all the sages of Naimisharanya, I'm sorry, not Naimisharanya, some sages, all these sages appeared, manifested in the battlefield where Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with the Yakshas, and they told him, you please chant Narayana mantra, fix Narayana Astra. Then you will be able to dispel all the demoniac illusions created by these Yakshas. So Dhruva Maharaj, third time, he was guided by devotees. First time he was guided by one devotee. Who is that? Suniti. Second time he was guided by whom? Narada Muni. Third time, sages. When he was bewildered by the illusions created by Yakshas, the sages came and guided him. And after some time, again Dhruva Maharaj became little distracted. He became excessively angry and he started killing all the Yakshas. For one Yaksha's mistake, he was killing all the Yakshas. Again, another person came to guide him. Another devotee came to guide him. Who is that? Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu manifested on the battlefield and said, Dhruva, for one Yaksha's mistake, just because one Yaksha killed your younger brother Uttama, you are planning to kill all the Yakshas? You are planning to annihilate the entire race of Yakshas? Is that appropriate, Dhruva? Think once. This Atirosha or excessive anger is a path to hell. Don't give in to this Atirosha. Then Dhruva understood his mistake. It's a long discussion, about 2 chapters of discussion, 1.5 chapters, only the discussion between Swayambhu Manu and Dhruva. In that also Dhruva was silently hearing most of the time. It is Swayambhu Manu who was giving instructions. For a Kshatriya on the battlefield, to withdraw one's excitement to fight and defeat the enemy, especially when he's tasting some success, is not so easy. But still, Dhruva Maharaj, being very obedient and submissive and humble, he accepted the advice of Swayambhumana and stopped the fight. Initially, he could not accept the advice of Narada Muni because of his childhood innocence and excitement. But when he's grown up, he accepted the advice of Swayambhuman and stopped the fight. Then he went to uh, Kuvera to say sorry. He said, "Oh Kuvera, I have unnecessarily killed hundreds and thousands of yakshas, your soldiers. Kindly forgive me. I did a mistake. I could not control myself. I became a victim of excessive anger. Please forgive me." Then Kuvera said, don't worry, my dear Dhruva, you have not killed them. It is because of their karma. The Lord has sanctioned it, therefore you have killed them. Similarly, they have not killed your brother. Your brother is destined to die, they just manifested the death. So don't worry. You please ask anything that you want. You want any benediction? Please accept the benediction. Then Dhruva said, yes, I want one benediction from you. You know what is that? What was the benediction that Dhruva asked from Kubera? Kubera is the wealthiest person in the planet, in the universe. Even he is the treasurer of the Devatas. He is a treasurer of the Devatas, and Dhruva had to ask a boon from him. Naturally, he will ask for wealth, right? But he did not ask for any wealth. He just asked, "Oh Kubera, I just want to remember Krishna always. Can you please bless me with unflinching remembrance of Lord Krishna at all times?" Actually speaking, Dhruva was more spiritually advanced than Kubera. Spiritually, Dhruva is in a much higher pedestal than even Kubera. But Dhruva is begging Kubera, please let me have unflinching remembrance of the Lord. You know how the Acharyas explain this point? How can a more advanced devotee beg a less advanced devotee for unflinching remembrance of Krishna? The answer is simple. Whether someone is more spiritually advanced than us, or less spiritually advanced than us, or equally spiritually advanced like us, if that devotee who is practicing bhakti is displeased with us, that will affect our remembrance of Krishna. That will affect our Krishna Smarana. Offense to another Vaishnav, whether they are seniors or juniors or equals, offense to another Vaishnav will definitely affect our absorption in Krishna. We will not be able to remember Krishna. Our Krishna Smarana will be obstructed by displeasing other Vaishnavas. When Dhruva begged Kuvera to bestow unflinching remembrance upon him, the mood is, please don't hold any bitter feelings towards me just because I have done a mistake. Please forgive me completely. I have done a great mistake. I beg, I apologize, I beg your forgiveness. Please don't hold any bitter feelings. If you hold any displeasure towards me, my dear Kuvera, I will not be able to remember Krishna. Only when you are sincerely pleased with me, I'll be able to consistently remember the Lord. So the displeasure of a Vaishnava will definitely affect our bhakti. So let's not offend Vaishnavas unnecessarily, right? Whether they're seniors or juniors or equals. Just because somebody is younger than you, that does not mean we disrespect them. If they're practicing bhakti, if they're chanting Hare Krishna, definitely, even if they're younger than us, if they're not happy with us, that will affect us. We cannot remember Krishna. So we should be ready to seek blessings from everybody. And we should not displease anybody as much as humanly possible. Right? So we saw in Dhruva Maharaj's life, we have discussed so many lessons, but one prominent theme in Dhruva's story is he was being guided by so many devotees at various stages of his spiritual life. First, by his mother Suniti. Second, by his guru Narada Muni. Third, by the sages when he was stuck in the battle. Fourth, by Swayambhu Manu when he became overly aggressive and angry in the battle and killing so many yakshas. And in one sense, fifthly, Kuvera also blessed him. So, however exalted we may be, even if we have personally taken darshan of the Lord by practicing determined devotional service, still we could get distracted and we need association of devotees. We need guidance of devotees. That's the greatest opulence in life. If we have access to some Vaishnava who is genuinely well-wishing, who is our genuine well-wisher, who genuinely rejoices our progress in bhakti, that's a great opulence. And we can gather so many such well-wishers in our lives by exhibiting Vaishnava character, by being humble and grateful. Otherwise, we cannot gain well-wishers. Right? How to attain well-wishers? How to have loving friendships with other Vaishnavas? By dealing with them in a very humble manner, gentle manner. When there is humility, when there is gratitude, when there is compassion in our interactions with other devotees, then naturally they love us, they care for us, they pray for us. Their prayers, their pleasure, their blessings are the source of greatest strength. So we need to act in ways that please other Vaishnavas and not agitate the Vaishnavas. And even if we happen to agitate another Vaishnava, circumstantially, unintentionally, you should immediately go and beg forgiveness. I'm sorry, I did this because of some madness. I have done this. Kindly forgive me. You should have the humility to beg forgiveness. But sometimes we don't show that humility, and we just simply become egoistic. Why should I say sorry? मैं उसको sorry क्यों बोलूं? उसका भी गलती था ना. We start analyzing. We start comparing our mistakes and their mistakes, and establish that their mistakes are greater than my mistakes. Therefore, I will not say sorry. Even if there is a small trace of mistake on our part, even if the other person is full of mistakes, still, even if there is a small little mistake also on our part, we should have the humility and simplicity to go and beg forgiveness. Then that humility in seeking forgiveness for one's own mistakes will help us not commit the same mistakes again. And thus we'll advance in bhakti. And thus we become recipients of Krishna's grace. We need devotees in our lives. We need well-wishing devotees. We need their blessings to advance in bhakti. Otherwise, it's very difficult to advance in bhakti. So with this, I'll conclude. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Do you have any questions?
Spreading relationships. Dhruva Maharaj had conflict, but nobody went and spoke with anyone. Mano did not respond. Uttarapad did not respond to the situation, and even Suniti also did not go and ask. No conflict in it. There was an issue, but nobody addressed. But Suniti asked to go see Lord. But in family, like if there are conflicts, how can we address? How can I address between two people? What should I? How do we?
I don't know if I understood the question. You said, okay, please reframe the question and ask.
There was an issue, but nobody went and asked, why did you say this or what happened?
Please ask the question directly.
If there is any conflict, how can we address the problem? how to address the problem.
If there is a conflict, how to address the problem?
Family, like between two family members, there is a conflict. As a third person, how can I address the issue?
Depending on the issue, depending on the nature of conflict. It all depends on who is fighting with each other. If the kids are quarreling for a toy, this is my toy, this is my toy. Now you can just go and then say, ask the probably the older child to compromise a bit, right? Don't worry. But if it is conflict between two elders, you may have to intervene in a different way. It's all circumstantial, bro. There is no black and white formula to address conflicts in a family. You need to see the nature of conflict, the extent of misunderstanding there, and also need to see whether they're older people are equal in age to you or the younger ones. So this is what I understood from your question. Somehow question was not clear to me. There's a conflict in understanding the question. Hare Krishna.
We offend, don't mean to offend. The corridor, respect of he not offending. Other devotee is offending.
Even if you don't offend, they'll get offended. Okay.
So what is uneasy?
Okay.
Offending, but they may circumstances.
Hmm.
So, and the devotee is not actually.
And the devotee is not
Accessible.
not accessible. How do you know? If you can't even access him, how do you know that he got offended because of you only?
Of course,
Afterwards, he is not approachable. Take out some time. If he's not accessible, wait till he becomes accessible. Thank you. You can just thank you. You can wait for 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 1 month, till you get an appointment. Then you can go and clarify, apologize. Wait for a while, or go to them with another Vaishnava. Like Indra offended Krishna. Later he felt very uncomfortable. Should I approach Krishna or not? Then all the people like Brahma and sages advised him, go with Surabhi. You can easily approach him. Then Indra took Surabhi, kept him in front of him, and then went to Krishna, and eventually he got forgiveness. If we are genuinely seeking that forgiveness from another Vaishnava whom we have offended, knowingly or unknowingly, Krishna will arrange for a meeting. It may happen today or tomorrow or after 10 days, no problem, but Krishna will ensure that you get an opportunity to express your heart. Or send an email. Nowadays, communication becomes very easy. You don't, if you don't have the possibility of personally meeting, send an email, WhatsApp message. Right?
WhatsApp audio.
Audio, voice note, expressing your heart. Still, if the other person is not willing to accept your apologies, wait for a while. Wait till the right time comes. But at heart, don't hold any grudge. But sometimes it may also be possible that although you may be begging forgiveness with all your good heart, the other person is not that mature, they will take it very seriously. They will not forgive. Actually speaking, there is no word like forgiveness in the dictionary of a Vaishnava. Because a Vaishnava by default is one who never takes an offense only. Where is the question of forgiveness? You can forgive somebody only if you have taken an offense. You have never taken an offense only. Where is the question of forgiveness? Srivas Thakur or Ambarish Maharaj, all these people have been offended by others in a very, very fierce manner, but they never took the offense. There's no question of forgiveness only. For all practical purposes, you may say this Vaishnava is forgiving, but there is no question of forgiveness. They never took the offense only. But if somebody is taking the offense very seriously, probably he's not that mature Vaishnava yet. And even after others are apologizing, begging forgiveness, falling at their feet, still they are not getting pleased, then probably they are not yet there in Vaishnava qualities yet. But if you have offended, you are not authorized to evaluate their Vaishnava qualities. You should think about your mistake only, right? But if you happen to be in the other end, where someone else has did some mistake towards you and they are falling at your feet and begging forgiveness and you can't help, I will not forgive. Right? Then you should apply all this discussion that we just had. Maybe I'm not Vaishnava, therefore I'm unable to forgive this person. But when you have done that mistake, you cannot evaluate it. Looks like he's not a Vaishnava. I'm saying sorry and he's not okay yet. Looks like he's not a Vaishnava. That you don't have that privilege. You should wait for their forgiveness. But as a third party, you can always analyze both parties. Right? In a Vaishnava way, of course. Does it make any sense? Thank you. Hare Krishna. We'll meet again. No, bro, enough questions. This class itself is not scheduled. 8:15, 8:20 he said. You come because your flight is delayed, come and give class. I surrendered to his will. Although I said no 10 times, but I surrendered to their will. I think we'll conclude here. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.